Hi, everyone, and welcome to the update for yesterday, which was April the 25th of the year 2026. Honestly, April 25th was not my shining day. All right, going to be perfectly honest. Um, Basically, I had a perfect opportunity, like 7, 8 hours to be super productive, get a whole bunch of stuff done, and I did absolutely nothing. No gym, no like Uber Eats, nothing to move the economic thing a little bit, not house cleaning. Quite literally, this was one of those cases where, I got off, it was about 1:30 in the afternoon, and beautiful day. I make the fateful decision. You know what? Instead of going to the gym, I'm going to rest for a little bit, and then I'm going to go for a nice jog on a beautiful sunny Saturday afternoon. I went home, turned on YouTube on my phone, and started doing the exact same type of wasting time, freaking random scrolling that I've been talking about ever since the 1st of January. By the way, this is the first time I've ever talked about New Year's resolutions all the way in April, by the way. And you know what? It's actually kind of cool about that. That means that these videos are doing one of the things that I am expecting them to do, or one of the reasons why I actually am doing this. And that is to keep me motivated. When I screw up, I am forcing myself to come here and tell you guys about it. Because, I cannot afford, if I want to keep my situation as it is, I cannot afford to let 7 or 8 free hours go without moving the ball forward down the field. And I did that last night. And again, I am now forcing myself for the update for the 25th to do the mea culpa on it. Now, I do fully believe that obviously nobody can be going all the time. And I fully, agree with that. And whatnot. Everybody needs their time from time to time. And so on the one hand, it's like, I feel justified, but on the other hand, the issues that a lot of these vlogs are about do not cure themselves by me sitting and watching stupid YouTube videos and playing around with ChatGPT most of the night. So, again, and I've had now like 3 or 4 of these type of days since I've been doing these videos. And I don't like it. And hopefully there will be less. But on the other hand, I am not going to stand here and say, oh, I am such a good worker that I am not going to want to just completely just mess around every now and again. But I need to be that. See the issue? Anyway, so that was kind of the day. At least the second part of the day. First part of the day, I was payroll office. And, one of the challenging things about what I do at work, and this is like the entire substituting job, but also my store job where I work like 8 different functions. All right. Now, of those 8 functions, or 7 functions or whatever it is, I am most up to speed with the accounting related things. Arguably, I'm the most knowledgeable on location about several different accounting related things. Like, for example, if I'm at the service counter, things that have changed since I work up there or since I worked up there frequently, have to slow down and, okay, which button gets me into this type of stuff. And had a moment like that today in payroll office where there was a policy that was a bit counterintuitive in specific edge cases that pop up next to never. And my first time encountering a particular edge case, and I got it wrong. And, one, embarrassing, and second, you don't like being wrong. Well, I don't like being wrong in general, and that's something I'm going to talk about here in a second. But also, as much time as I spend talking about, money issues on here, in a role like that, even on something like this, which was easily fixable, like under a minute, I don't like, having given false or incorrect information and then having to ask management to, get in, educate me on the right one and then fix it. I don't like being in situations like that, and I don't like, putting people I'm trying to assist in those type of situations. And we did to the best, and so, but anyway, so, and that's one of those things where, like when I was a kid, well, I mentioned a couple of days ago having big, long conversations with Mom. And one of them was about, when I was a kid, or when I was younger. And this included, I was very much a perfectionist. Always wanted to come across looking perfect. And so I was like well-mannered, and Mom phrased that to me, always so driven to look perfect. And yeah. And that, to be quite honest, it's only within the last couple of years that I even started doing things like untucked shirts and things to that effect. Very kind of image conscious, always kind of was. And which is one of these things where, and I came to this realization, and she's right. A couple of years back, so I've been, trying to, I don't want to say be more human, but, face it when, and not just get like completely embarrassed and shut down in those cases of not being perfect. And, which is weird, because again, I've always, and there is a point to this, by the way. This rambling speech is making a point. So, and I've mentioned on this video, comments about hair and facial hair and teeth white, all this type of stuff. I've always done this type of stuff all the way back to the time when I can first start buying these type of things on my own, because Dad was not going to invest in those things for me when I was like in high school. Anyway, so started doing all that, and I told you about a month ago I did my first full day like leading classes in a high school. And I started hearing these terms. One that I actually put into the title of the video yesterday, looks maxing. And something that's really silly, it looks up after I looked it up, mewing, which is like a tongue thing that supposedly like makes your jaw look better or something to that effect. But mogging, like, I had never heard a phrase of being mogged by a sub. I looked it up, and basically, it's a term that generally is applied to the person that's done like the most of that type of thing, these like looks max types of things in a room. And apparently in a couple of those classes, apparently I reached the bill. Just these things I've been doing for years, but I guess I have a term for it now. Anyway, hey, thanks for joining me all the way to the end. I'm getting ready for work, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Ciao for now.